So it's funny that that ad was the one that played before this. By the way, welcome back, everyone. Hi, my name is Alchemist, and I'm joined by Steph, Mac, and Trish. And I'm also joined by Robert. Okay, let me take a moment.
Anderberg. It's like an iceberg.
I first of all, always happy to talk to you. Glad to see you again. Last time we talked was during Global Game Jam last year,
Yeah, that's right.
and I. It is very okay, Chad. I'm going to be very honest with you. Because of how much information we receive in a short amount of time, a lot of times we end up getting information before the show, we get some information after the show, and we kind of follow up with it afterwards. I cannot think of another time that I learned something during a show that completely changed how I viewed game dev. And I actually know the exact last time is because we were talking about one of our sponsors and something that Bobby is a huge part of, which is Big Bang. So before I gush anymore, can you please tell everyone else at home a little bit more about Big Bang so they can understand why I'm freaking out a bit, just a teensy bit?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'll do a tiny bit of
Keep showing because talking is, everyone's telling you how amazing their thing is, and it's like it can get a little bit drony on. So I actually brought what I decided to do this year. Last year we did, if you saw the presentation we did 5 people built a game in 10 minutes. I think the problem with that was it was like too fast. It was too good. So this year it's me doing it, so it's going to be much worse. So maybe it won't even work. I don't know.
Like, let's make it harder.
So let's make it harder. Let's make it not work as well. So we're gonna do a thing here. Let me see. I've got a link that I'm going to post. I have transmogrified myself into a clown since learning about the theme this year. And yeah, if you scan this QR code, you can jump in together. And what I thought we would do this year is we have a platform up here, and I thought what we could do is just really simply use Big Bang to build a path to success, a path to global game jam success. And at the end of this cloud, at the end of this journey, there is something, let's be honest, it's the website for global game jam on Big Bang. It could be, but let's imagine that's your hopes and dreams for global game jam this year. So we can see that we got a guest. Nice to meet you. Somebody jumping in already. And so Big Bang is a thing that we've built that lets you make and play games in a web browser. And the thing I think is most cool about it is that you can just send a link, and people can join in. This person's giving us some emotes here. People can just jump in with that link, right? So the second thing that's cool is you can just press this edit button and edit the game. This is my game and I own it, so I can hit edit and just edit at any time. There's no build process. You don't need to download a tool. There's no I need to export for Android. I need to export for web. So you can see that we've got a bunch of people joining. These people don't even have an account. So as soon as you build something, say that you want to do a game jam, get something going, you find that you've got something fun, you can just throw that link to your friends. They can jump in, give you some feedback, start testing it straight away. So that's enough blabbing. I thought what we could do is just start building. So I'm going to just start doing that. And, if you have other questions or things that you want to ask,
I just wanted to clarify. Anyone can join this right now using that QR code?
Yeah, that's right. So, so now we've got a guest. Look, our guest can't get on the platform. Let's move it down. That person made a Jeep. There is a Jeep spawner there. They might be driving that Jeep around whilst we're playing. So yeah, these other people are just joining from this QR code. I put the link in the chat as well. It's kind of like building games and playing games simultaneously. So anyway, my challenge today is to continue to build this game. I'm going to move it around with this person standing on it to the point where we can get up to these clouds. That's our goal. If we get there, we've won. If we don't, then, it's not that bad. We don't always succeed in game dev. So yeah, I'm going to start cloning some stuff out. This is going to take me 2 seconds. Everyone's too good at this. Let's look. We need to make it more difficult. Maybe we should make it terrible. Let me put something here that kills people. I've got some stuff down here. I'll put a toxic.
Maybe we should make it terrible.
Game dev is not always easy, right? So if we have a toxic barrel here killing people, maybe that'll be a little kind of
Game.
to build your masterpiece. Yeah, look, these people are all dying now, so it's working.
I'm just gonna come back. I'm here.
Yeah, I don't think we should. I don't think we should make it too easy. I think we should make it more difficult this year.
Just gonna
Look at
run
this.
jump quickly.
Look at this.
I'm
leading
totally
people on
hosting
a
and not
merry.
playing.
I'm leading people on a merry chase. I don't think they can get to the clouds from here just yet. No.
I'm trying there.
Yeah, I think we need to. I think we need to be a bit kinder, and we'll do the final section here where we're just going to build straight up, and we're going to come around and give you access to the cloud. But this toxic barrel really is killing people. This person managed to get up. Yeah, no, somebody got up, and the goal and the reward that you will get for your parkouring is to be able to visit the Global Game Jam page for the Big Bang. So yeah, that's it is what it is. So we managed to get there. But yeah, so what I wanted to show this time around was just it's super easy to build stuff. It's very quick to build things. It's really perfect for a game jam game. Whether or not you're trying to build like the next massively successful game, or if you're just trying to mess around with friends, I think game jam, for me at least, is very much about just playing with ideas, trying to get something to work. And yeah, on the site that we have here, we've got a whole bunch of starter kits that you can use to get started with a game jam. Say you wanted to make like an FPS, or you wanted to make a combat game, or even something much more ambient. And then we've also got information about how our team will help you. So you can come and join our Discord, mess around, and if you get stuck, we will help you with everything. So yeah, that's my presentation. Any questions?
Yeah, I would love for you to touch on the Big Bang like community.
Yeah, so we have 6,000 people in our Discord, and they range all the way from absolute beginners, people who've never touched a piece of code, people who've never made a game at all in their entire life, to people who are, quite experienced game developers, obviously our team, but we have people building, pretty complex games on Big Bang. And, I think the other thing is it's important to note that this thing is like a complete game engine underneath. I think when we pop out into the game editor, a lot of the games on Big Bang use this default player character, the running around third-person view character. But this character is actually just composed out of scripts, and all of these scripts you can look at and change. You can copy this. You could make yourself a spaceship. You could have a top-down game. It's just this is just like a fun way for people to get started. So yeah, and then built in is complete scripting, so you can add. I'm going to put a script on here. It's probably going to break, but that's what it's all about, right? Let's just make it spin around, right? So I put a script on it that spins it around, and the code editor that we have here is Visual Studio Code, and you can edit this code in real time. So I could make this go backwards by just changing this, putting a minus sign in front of the spinning here. This is one line of code that's doing it. It's so we've got lots of small examples, lots of silly stuff. And then, yeah, the programming language is TypeScript, which is very similar to JavaScript. If you can write JavaScript, you can do this. But I think we should probably take this off again because it's getting a little bit nausea-inducing, perhaps. So yeah, that's it. It's a super fun way to just get started making stuff, and especially for a game jam where maybe you're coordinating across the whole planet. You're sitting where you are today. There's people from all across the world that I've seen on the stream so far. And everybody could just click this link and jump in and create together without needing to do that coordination, which sometimes can be very complex, right? If you're cross global.
So there is one thing that I kind of want to mention about this that you kind of alluded to. Because you can kind of drag and drop things into the game in real time and then also see the code. Big Bang is a really awesome way to kind of learn what things do what as you're going about it. Do you find most people kind of stick with the drag and drop aspect of it in the beginning and then move on to coding it directly? Or do you find that it's kind of an even split between people who just code straight up and then use it to view, or people who just use the drag and drop sections of it.
Yeah, I think we have a ton of people making stuff that have never written any code at all. They use the things that are there already. They have fun. They can customize what's there. And then we have, a spread of people all across the spectrum. And I think the point that you made, which is that it's a good way to learn, just like messing about with stuff and breaking stuff. I think that's absolutely true. You can see a game that you like, you can remix it, and then you can just start changing things and breaking it and changing all the numbers and seeing if it actually does something interesting. And I think certainly when I learned to make games, which was a long time ago, you had a home computer and you could just mess about with things, and the source code being available to lots of stuff. And it's kind of the same way that a lot of people originally learned to make websites, right? You just like right click, view source, and then you could just change stuff. So yeah, I think it's a great way to learn, just to take something that you like, change it, and see what happens.
That's cool. I have a question, and I'm sorry because you've probably told this story about a million times, but how did Big Bang get started?
That's a great question. Thank you for asking it. I have been asked that many times, but I love telling people the answer. So yeah, it started as a hobby project. So I was just kind of doing it in my spare time, mainly because, one of the things that frustrated me, especially I have 3 kids now, and I also was doing Hour of Code at my kids' school. I think I did 5 years in a row. I mentor at Game Heads in Oakland. And I also helped do free mentoring on Twitter for people. And one consistent theme was just that people who are already game developers really underestimate the complexity of just getting started, like downloading the tool, getting it on your system, opening a project, understanding what's happening. And I think a lot of people end up not actually doing anything, or they have some great creative ideas, but they just can't do them because the gap between having an idea and actually getting started is just so huge that it just never happens. And I think that's true with a lot of things. If you want to make music, but you have to turn on a laptop and load up a program and do a thing, 20 minutes later, you still aren't making music. Maybe you've lost your enthusiasm. And so what I like about, what we built there is it just takes 5 seconds. We actually bought the domain game.new. So if you just type game.new in your web browser, you can come straight to a page. So you don't even need to remember the URL. And then within 10 minutes, you can do a little prototype and mess about. So yeah, that's how it started as a hobby. And then more people got involved. And then eventually I left my job to do it full time. And we've been doing it for quite a while now. So yeah, it's rolling along.
Congratulations.
You mentioned game.new and you just blew Alchemist's mind. He was like, I need to go look right now. And he's sitting here with his mouth wide open. He's so excited.
I totally didn't immediately go to it and look at the kits that are there.
What's funny about game.new is that it was being, camped by a domain camper for ages, and it wasn't available. But I was like a hawk. I was watching it. There was nothing there. And then exactly on the renewal date, I tried to renew it and it just worked. I was like, oh, now I own this domain. I can do anything. I'm super powerful.
This is mine.
Yes, exactly. Mine. So yeah, it was a fun time. Oh, I've still got my QR code on the screen. Wow. Look at that. You can go to .bigbang.com GGJ to find out about all of our Global Game Jam stuff. You can join our Discord, even if you've never made a game before. We're very nice people. And if you want to ask the simplest question, like how do I just put something in a game? How do I do anything at all? We're always very happy to help you because we just want people to be able to make stuff. That is our core reason for being. Look, another guest. Every time I put the QR code on the screen, more people maybe we should put it back on.
Yes.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
When you have someone that has a bunch of say I'm an artist and I have a ton of assets and I'm like, oh, I kind of want to make a game. These assets are so cute. They would be so perfect for a game. Could someone put their own stuff they've already made in, or is it just predetermined? You can change the colors, but you can't put in your own stuff.
So actually, everything that's in here has been made just using these tools. Everything that's in here is made using their built-in editors. So I'm going to click this button, and this object that we were just looking at this part of the temple is a voxel object made in the voxel object editor. I can remix it. I'm not an artist, but check this out. Check out my new amazing version of this piece of art.
Beautiful.
And then I can save it, and then as soon as I did that, I can go back and use it in the game. So yeah, I can, if I click here, I can say this is the one that I just made, right, that we just saw, and I can click this, and now that's it, back in the game.
That easy, literally seconds.
So, or you could select everything and replace it with that. We do actually have a way that we're working on to edit them right here, so you don't need to go out and back, because sometimes that can spoil the flow, and it's a little bit frustrating loop. So yeah, working on everything possible. And then if you can see down the bottom here, I don't know how obvious it is, but yeah, not only can you, build things that you have created, but you can also share the things that you've built and use things that other people have built. And so you can see that there's tons of things down here, like, for example, tree. I'm going to type in tree. These are the ones in this game, but I can look for all trees. And then these are like every tree anybody's ever made, and there are thousands and thousands of things, right? So you don't need to, if you want to build your own things from scratch, that's straightforward and easy, like we just saw. But we can also just find like fantastically detailed things that other people have made and shared, and just stick them in here. Get a nice shady tree going.
And you can choose to share, or will it automatically share?
So you can choose to share, and you've got complete control over that. You can say whether or not people can use it in their games. You can choose whether they can remix it, so they can modify it, and you can choose, or you can choose just to use it in your own games.
Cool.
Very cool. One of the other questions we have here is, this is your game currently. What are some of the more popular games on the platform?
Oh, that's a great question. Yeah. So we've got a lot of games here. I need to if to show that, what I'm going to do is flip here, go to the home page. Yeah, so we've got like a social hub where you could just like hang out and play. We've done a bunch of collaborations with YouTubers where we've got like Bed Wars type games. We've got a bunch of like FPS games that people love to play. We've got this game called Chase Heroes, which is like a multiplayer obstacle course. Like people in the it's maybe a bit loud. People in the Roblox word will call it an obby, and so it changes your character into this like little cute thing. And then you can run through here and play. So yeah, in terms of the games that are most popular, the game that we did with Preston Plays, who's a YouTuber, is a version of a game called Bed Wars. And that has been absolutely smashing it. So yeah, I think it has 1 million plays now. But yeah, really being successful there.
Awesome. And you had mentioned that you have a Global Game Jam site this year, right? Can you just revisit that again?
Yep. So .bigbang.com GGJ. And then this has, first of all, a bunch of information on getting started, how to use a voxel object editor. Let me see if that's going to stay. Yes, that's good. The documentation site, what these kind of getting started kits that we were talking about. And we have documentation on each one. Then we've got like a quick start game. We've got a game editor. We've got a guide for Unity developers. So if you have used Unity in the past and you think, oh, maybe I'll try this out now. We've got a little kind of color-coded scene here to kind of help guide you and get yourself started, and then a kind of translation from all of the words that you would use in Unity to words that we use for the same concepts. So that's really great. And then, yeah, down at the bottom, we've got the Discord, where I will be for the whole game jam. Our game developers and our engine developers will be in there as well. So yeah, any questions at all that people have, they can come along and hang out with us, and we will help you achieve the Global Game Jam game of your dreams. That's what we're doing.
So I do have another question, and this might be something that I asked you before, so please forgive me if it's a repeat question. But since you can edit games in real time on the fly, is there an opportunity for instance, like 2 content creators could go and open up just game.new and create a game together with each other and then play it with the community?
Yeah. So,
Like Steph's mind is blown.
Yeah. So what I was showing you today was, I'm the owner of this game, and what I'm doing is sharing like a play link. I mean, it's all the same thing. It's just not showing the edit button to people who are in the game link. But if we're collaborating together, and I give you the edit link, yeah, you can just come in and multiplayer edit together, and then we can just build that game in real time. So you can have a bunch of people who are playing, you can have a bunch of people who are making, and collaborate in real time like that. Yeah, so that is exactly what you can do. And last year we did that, and I just felt like it was a bit too complicated. So this year I was trying to keep it simple. Try and keep it simple. So yeah.
So that means that myself, Steph, Mac, and Trish could use Big Bang to make a game for the Game Jam using the theme of Make Me Laugh.
Are you having us enter right now or what?
Listen, I'm just saying.
I think I'm hearing you're having us enter right now.
I'm just saying, I think between the four of us, we might be actually unstoppable with especially with Big Bang making it so you drag and drop. Like I already
will support you.
Alchemist, if we're doing this, then my question for Bobby is there a tutorial? If we never developed a game before ever, and you go into your site, where do we start?
So that's what this page is for, this Global Game Jam page. That's exactly hopefully exactly the answer you're going to get there. But what I will say is, if you want to get together and make the dream team and make it happen, then just come and hang out in our Discord, and every single tiny question you've got, we will answer for you and we'll help you make it. And I think probably that game would win. It would win the Game Jam, which is not a competition, but it would still win it. Would still win it. So, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's good. That's very exciting. I'm excited.
Oh, we're excited.
Your tool just makes it so easy and accessible for people like someone like me who is like, I kind of want to do it, but I don't have any skills. Like, I don't know what I could do. I can come up with ideas, but I don't know how to do it. Like this is almost something that like in my spare time, I would like, if I'm bored, I'm like, oh, I want to make a thing. And then you just like, I made the thing. Like, it's that easy. It's almost like, I don't want to compare it to like Sims, but like, you know, when you like decorate and build a house, you're like, I want to build a house when I grow up. And you're like, I'm just going to build it in Sims. Like you can build your game in this way. It's really cool for people like me that are like, I don't know how to do it.
Show you a different thing. Well, I had another thought about that. Yeah. What I was going to say was, so I've been like a professional game developer for 25 years this year, which sounds like such a long time. But I think the important thing about starting doing anything, like, I taught myself to play the guitar in COVID. And, when I say taught myself to play the guitar, I mean, like I can play 5 songs by strumming them and singing them. I'm not a guitarist in any way, shape or form. But I think the thing that made me be able to do that was just that I did it every day, and I wasn't what nobody was telling me that they, nobody had an opinion on what I was doing. I was just doing it for myself. And I think one of the things that's great about Big Bang is it doesn't matter what the end result is, right? If you come and make something, like you can come today, make something, put some things in a world, maybe it works, maybe some things don't work, maybe you don't understand it, but you had that one extra step. And then, you have something, and then you come back the next day and you say, oh, well, I want to see if I can make that thing work. And then you keep going. And eventually you do have something that you think is great and is fun. And so, yeah, I think that it really gets back to that point I was trying to make, which is the getting started part is the part that 99% of people stop at, right? People don't do a thing because they don't never get started. Like you just never get going. So, yeah, I really think... I think you should make it. I think you should make something. I think you should come and hang out in our Discord, our wonderful creators. But I wanted to show you something because you were talking about Sims and this thing that we had. No, I'm going to stay here. Oh, no, don't go away. Right here. Wait a second. This is going to be the incoherent part of the... I'm down for it. I'm digging. I'm going to look for Summer Sky's profile, and I think that she made a thing called... Where is it? Is it here? I was just playing it. I'm going to randomly look through games. She's going to
Someone
be there.
made some Sims related or like a esque.
This is it's like a beautiful. Is it? It's a is it? Was it called Cozy? Is it called Cozy? I can't find it. Oh no! Why can't I find it? Oh well, she made a beautiful cozy house. I was going to show you it, but maybe I made a version of it. Am I just going crazy? Is it? Oh, here it is. Summer's Cozy Pad. I finally found it. Okay, so yeah, Summer, one of our artists, just made this little house, and I just thought it was kind of, it's maybe not Sims-like, but it's kind of
It's
cool.
beautiful.
Yeah, and you can, she made it so you can only walk, so there's none of this manic running around. It's got a nice pond outside. It's got a little hanging bedroom upstairs, little plants, closet. So yeah, I think there's a lot of things which are not necessarily like game in quotes, like, oh wow, look at the amazing game mechanics in this game, and just an experience. And I've been playing a lot of walking simulators recently, and I think there's a huge amount of value to just making a space that you can share with other people and hang out in and have fun, and not put too much pressure on it needing to be something fantastic. And I think that's a great way to get started.
So you mentioned that in that game, she made it so you could only walk. What are some of the other actions people can give a character to do?
Yeah, so you can actually change everything about the way the character moves. It's very easy to kind of get in there and just change some sliders around with how they can how fast they can walk or how fast they can jump or the gravity of the player. We're actually over time, Big Bang started out where we were making really simple games. So maybe we had like 10 things in a game, and then over time the games have got more and more and more complicated. And so we actually have a system that is coming to make that view of the character only have some really simple controls to make that even simpler. We always want to come back to making it easy, because it is sometimes, I think, a little bit intimidating to kind of open this thing up and just see that there's a huge sea of stuff here.
Sure.
But yeah, so I think there's just a bunch of stuff, right? So you can change the maximum speed of the character, or how high they can jump, how far they can fall before they get reset. All of the animations, we have about 2,000 animations, so you can kind of change those around and just have fun. But yeah, that is one of the things where I really want to make it easier. It's become more complex as the games have become complex, but I want to make it easier over time to do that.
Well, kudos to you for that, because finding that balance between a really robust, complex tool that really expands what people can create with it, but also something that's simplistic for first timers, that's a tightrope to walk. So well done on finding the balance.
Yeah, it's very difficult to sometimes find it. And so I would say the thing that's most fun and that you can do just to mess around here is you can in this templates tab down the bottom, some engines call them prefabs. There's a bunch of stuff in here, like a trampoline and a launch pad and like speed boost shoes, checkpoints. And we should have put some checkpoints in for the people earlier, make it easier to get up this thing. There's some pets in here that follow you around and do things. There's a whole bunch of stuff. And so, each of these things also, you can go and look at the code if you want to and see how it works, but you don't need to. And yeah, that's a good way to like have that kind of Sims-like experience, just to build a space and put some stuff in it, rather than having to think about, code before.
Very cool.
Well, I don't. Yeah, keep going. Sorry.
I was going to say, what's the roadmap look like for Big Bang? What are some features that you're hoping to push out coming up?
Yeah, that's a great question. So one thing that we're doing this year is focusing a bit more on kind of once you have an account on Big Bang and you want to collaborate with other people, one thing that we're excellent at is like you can send a link and people can jump in. So if you're coordinating on Discord or you're coordinating somewhere else, that makes that really, really easy. Now, sometimes people are not doing that. They are already on Big Bang and they just want to like invite their friend who's online right now. And that's not possible. So we're adding a friends list. We're adding invites. So I can be making this game and say, oh, hey, do you want to come and help me? Because I can see that you're online. So more of that kind of in-platform friends and social stuff. And then also we're making it easier to sign up. So that basically everybody has an account when they come, and when you come as a guest, you'll still be able to make something. And then at some point, you know, you can sign up. So just trying to open that up and make it more accessible to people. And then finally, we're working on the game engine itself, like working on performance with a goal to make it about 10 times faster. And we're getting really good progress towards that goal. So bigger things, faster things, cooler things, more accessible. Just keeping going with all of the main themes of the project.
Well, thank you so much for the demo today. It's so cool to see it in action. I mean, me for one, Alchemist was telling us before the stream about how cool Big Bang is, and just wait till you get to see it. And now we have gotten a chance to see it. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being a part of the stream. And it was just lovely having you. So are there any final words you'd like to leave everyone with before we say goodbye to you, Robert?
No, I just want, if you want to use Big Bang to make a game for Global Game Jam, that would be great. But, if you don't, that's also awesome. And we just wish everybody lots of luck with their game jam this year.
Awesome. Happy Game Jam. Folks, we could not make Global Game